I'll never forget my first time watching the movie Gladiator and how moved I was when I saw the Colosseum in all its glory. The stark contrast between Renaissance architecture and modern day buildings is evident everywhere, as is the locals taking their time, living dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing, whilst watching tourists run around hastily trying to pack in as much as possible on their, hopefully not last, trip to Rome. I'm sure you'll all agree that nothing beats realising that most of the attractions on your must-see and do lists for Rome are 100% free. Here's a list of 21 exciting must-see attractions that we recently experienced for ourselves, including hidden Instagram-worthy spots that we discovered to make the most of some of the attractions. Stay tuned until the end for some essential travel tips to travel cheaply, comfortably, and, perhaps most importantly, safely in Italy. Number 1 on the list, the Pantheon. Originally built as a temple to all the gods in ancient Rome, hence the name Pantheon, meaning all the gods in Greek, it was completed around 126 AD by the then Emperor Hadrian, the same Hadrian that ordered the building of Hadrian's Wall in what is now the UK. You can see statues of the gods inside the Pantheon. We were incredibly lucky to have visited just after it had rained, so we could see the clever drainage system preventing water building up inside the Pantheon when the rain comes through the oculus. Please remember that even though it is free, they require bookings on weekends and public holidays. Number 2 on the list, be sure to discover the many stunning churches and cathedrals. Whether religious or not, these buildings contain some of Rome's precious history and awe-inspiring frescoes. Rome has over 900 churches and cathedrals, and they are a prime example of never judging books by their covers. Many churches appear unassuming from the outside. As with most religious buildings, please respect any dress codes that some of these places have by covering your shoulders and not wearing flip-flops. Number 3 is the Piazza Venezia. Whilst watching the seemingly chaotic driving around this major traffic hub of Rome, it's easy to imagine you are on a film set. Piazza Venezia has been the site of several recent historical events, including the proclamation of the Italian Republic in 1946 and the fascist parades and rallies during the reign of Benito Mussolini. Number 4 is Cardonata Capitolina, a wide, paved walkway that leads up to our next attraction, designed by Michelangelo. The staircase is lined with beautiful statues, and despite the relatively gentle slope, the angle is surprisingly awkward to climb. Number 5. Once you've reached the top of the stairs designed by Michelangelo, you'll find Piazza del Campidoglio. This is one of Rome's most beautiful squares and houses 3 buildings. If you came up the stairs and faced the statue of Marcus Aurelius, past the brown building on its left, you'll get to a hidden viewpoint of the Roman Forum that makes for stunning and unique views, especially at sunset. Here you'll get as close as you can without an entry ticket to the Forum. Number 6 is the Roman Forum. Now, unfortunately, entry is no longer free, but there are many ways and spots to view the Forum from without paying an entry. In addition to the viewing spot I just mentioned, you can also get amazing views from above by walking along Piazza del Colosseo, which is the road that leads to the Colosseum. This road is closed to Sunday traffic, making viewing the Forum on both sides easier and safer. Number 7 on the list, be sure to country hop into Vatican City and explore the Vatican and St. Peter's Square. Take a moment to marvel at the 284 columns that surround this spectacular square where millions of tourists visit each year. Even on the worst weather days, you can expect to see tourists coiling around St. Peter's Square for entry into the Vatican and Basilica. Our tip is to go early to get ahead of the crowd, even if it means being there well before they open. Number 8 on the list, be sure to get your selfie at the Colosseum. This magnificent 2,000-year-old monument is built on the site where Emperor Nero, who was notorious for his love of arts, extravagance, and cruelty, once had his palace. The Colosseum has been damaged over the years by several earthquakes and was even plundered at one point for iron to help make weapons and stone for other building projects. We did a full tour, including the exclusive underground of the Colosseum. I've left a link in the description below. Number 9 is the Arch of Constantine. While you're at the Colosseum, look for this magnificent arch. This colossal marble arch is one of only 3 original triumphal arches remaining in Rome. The intricate details are mesmerizing. The arch itself celebrates the victory by Emperor Constantine over the usurper Maxentius. Number 10 is the Circus Maximus. This stadium is the largest in ancient Rome, perhaps even the world. It could hold up to 250,000 spectators and was especially famous for chariot races. It is very easily accessible via the Circo Maximo train station or by foot from almost anywhere in Rome, and is now really just a patch of lawn. Number 11 is Campo de' Fiori. The market on Campo de' Fiori, or Field of Flowers in English. This former meadow has been home to a bustling market since 1869, every morning from Monday to Saturday. In stark contrast to the canvas of beautiful flowers that fill the market and the sweet smell of fresh fruit and vegetables that fill the air is the statue of Giordano Bruno in the centre of the piazza, commemorating a former public execution spot. The Italian philosopher was burnt at the stake in 1600 for heresy, and the monument was built in his honour in 1889. Number 12. Walk along the River Tiber. In summer, there are markets here, which make for a lovely, eventful night out strolling along the river and the various market stalls. This bridge, next to the Trastevere neighbourhood, offers some spectacular pictures with Vatican City in the background. Number 13 is Trevi Fountain. This fountain rakes in an incredible €3,000 per day from tourists that flip a coin in hoping to ensure their return to Rome. The fountain is filled through a natural spring, and although quieter around sunrise and sunset, where you'll also get stunning pictures of the wild horses, mythical figures, and cascading falls, any time is a good time to go and visit this memorable place. Number 14 is the neighbourhood of Trastevere. This is Anna's favourite neighbourhood, and now that I've been there for myself, I can really see why. This is one of the few places where, of course weather dependent, you can still see those famous sights of clothes hanging between the buildings. This is an excellent neighbourhood to be based in, to explore most of the attractions of Rome by foot for the average fit person or by public transport. If you have enjoyed the video so far, please help more people to find this video by subscribing to our channel and liking the video. Thanks. Number 15 is the Jewish Quarter. This historically significant neighbourhood was once closed off and subject to strict rules and regulations. Today, one can wander freely through a bustling atmosphere of top kosher restaurants, street performances, and friendly smiles all around. we stumbled across an Auschwitz exhibition, and I don't remember the last time I was so sad and moved. Number 16, Teatro Marcello. Right next to the building I just mentioned is another beautiful archaeological site. This looks like a mini Colosseum, but is, in fact, an old theatre. There are paved walkways that allow you to take a short stroll through the grounds and enjoy the magnificent architecture. Number 17 is the Spanish Steps and Trinita dei Monti Church. There has been a ban on sitting on the steps since 2020, and this makes for a much easier climb up those steps, as you no longer have to zigzag your way through the hordes of tourists and locals lazing about on the stairs. Climb to the top for beautiful views over Rome and spend some time inside the stunning church. You won't regret it. Number 18 is the Borghese Gardens. These gardens are the third largest public park in Rome and is home to a number of buildings, museums and water attractions. In around 1605, Cardinal Scipione Borghese, who was nephew of the then Pope Paul V, began turning this former vineyard into what is now the Borghese Gardens. The gardens, as we know them today, were developed in the 19th century, and after being acquired by the Commune of Rome, they were officially opened to the public in 1903. Number 19 is to simply stroll along the many tiny streets. The best way to truly experience Rome is to allow yourself to get lost. There are so many treasures around every corner, so I strongly recommend that you deliberately plan some time to just stroll around and give Rome the opportunity to dazzle you. Number 20. Walk the Appian Way, or at least part of the 132-mile route. This road was strategically significant in building the Roman Empire, and big parts of it still have the original road surface. The route is laden with ancient ruins, including catacombs, mausoleums, tombs, and villas. And this brings me to my next, and possibly one of our favourite free things. Number 21, Parkrun. This free, weekly, timed event has seen us plan our travels specifically so that we are free in a new country every Saturday to enable us to participate and tick off a few countries on our list. I was in absolute awe to find a Roman ruin while just casually walking along. And now, as promised, a few tips to travel cheap, comfortably, and safely while in Italy. 1. Take your own water bottle and refill it at one of the many free fountains in the city. 2. Book tickets in advance, even if admission is free. Rome is one of the top tourist destinations in the world, so safe to say it attracts millions of tourists, all wanting to see the same things. Number 3. Be respectful of local customs, and remember, you are a guest in their country. 4. Get up and about early to avoid the crowds. Rome typically only springs to life in the late morning, and many people only head out for dinner around 9 p.m. So you really can avoid some of the crowds by getting out and about early. 5. Pack your own lunch and snacks. 6. Be aware of pickpockets. Petty crime is rife in Italy, unfortunately, so ensure that you lock your bag and don't carry a wallet or passport, etc. in your pockets. Number 7. Your choice of luggage. This could apply to most of Europe, but ensure that the luggage you travel with can travel comfortably along cobblestone streets, or that you can carry it if it doesn't. It's always best to splash out on a high quality suitcase that can navigate this terrain than to keep replacing cheaper bags after each trip, not to mention the environmental impact that that would have. Number 8. Book off-peak train fares and travel coach class. We were expecting the worst, but the trains are amazing. They are bang on time and squeaky clean. Number 9. Do not leave your bags unattended on a train. Keep an eye on them, even if they are right above you. Anna was once on a train from Amsterdam to Bruges, and someone's bag was stolen from right above their heads. 10. Although this tip has nothing to do with comfort, saving money, or staying safe, a sure way to upset an Italian is to call Michelangelo. And 11. As alluring as it is, you can't live on pizza and pasta. I tried, and it didn't go so well. Thank you for watching our video on the 3 things to do in Rome. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to make it easier for others to see the videos, and stay tuned as there are plenty more videos to follow.